A small New Mexico resort town with a very odd name, Truth or Consequences. Find out how it got its unique name this week on Rural Roadtripper. With a population of around 6,000 people, Truth or Consequences might not look like much if you didn't know what was here. But with the Rio Grande River passing through town, there are hot springs here that have brought visitors for hundreds of years to this area, beginning with the region's Native Americans. In fact, the name of this town prior to 1950 was Hot Springs, New Mexico, with an even earlier name before 1914, Palomas Hot Springs, named for the doves that live in the cottonwoods by the river here. Once the area had begun to be developed, it didn't take long before public bathhouses were built, with the first one being built in the late 1800s at the John Cross Ranch at Geronimo Springs. This town was known for being a place of healing, with the therapeutic hot spring waters, the Carrie Tingley Hospital, a children's hospital that was set up here to treat polio and other diseases, and new bathhouses and motor court motels popping up in the area for all of these new visitors. This was becoming a popular destination for people in need of healing. The City of Health, many called it at the time. Today, multiple hot springs bathhouses are still open to the public in this area, although the draw isn't so much for medical intervention anymore, but rather just the appeal of the relaxing hot springs themselves. The town began to grow even faster, though, once the Elephant Butte Dam and reservoir were built, creating the largest lake in New Mexico, and providing a source for large-scale irrigation efforts that would help this to become an area suitable for agricultural growth, at least by New Mexico standards. The area continues to benefit from this still today, especially as the lake can bring in as many as 100,000 visitors to the area on some holiday weekends, as they boat, fish, and do just about anything else that a large lake can provide within a hot desert climate. In 1950, the town changed its name to the now famously odd name of Truth or Consequences. The story all goes back to a radio game show of the day by the same name, Truth or Consequences, which was broadcast on NBC Radio, hosted by Ralph Edwards. Changing the name of the town was simply a publicity stunt that would forever change this town. Edwards had advertised in his show that if any town would change their town's name to the name of the show, he would give that town free publicity on nationwide radio. The town voted, and the majority chose to change the name of Hot Springs, New Mexico, to Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, just as Edwards had challenged the nation to do. Some residents protested, but ultimately they didn't have the numbers to stop it. In 1963, with even stronger numbers, the residents of the town decided to keep the name, and today it still has that odd name of Truth or Consequences, long after the radio show had its last broadcast in 1988. Each year, for an annual celebration, the Truth or Consequences Fiesta, that continues to be held in the first weekend in May, Ralph Edwards and many of his celebrity buddies would come to attend the festivities, providing a personal connection to the small town that changed its name at his request to the name of the game show that was his livelihood. While there's not a ton to do in town here, the town is set up fairly well with modern shopping, hotels, and restaurants. There is a small museum downtown which wasn't open while I was in town, on account of it being New Year's Day when I was filming here. But it seemed like a decent-looking little museum from the outside. There is also a visitor center for the Geronimo Trail Scenic Byway, which has maps, tourist information, and there's even a tour that departs from here to the nearby Spaceport America, which is the first purpose-built commercial spaceport in the world. In the historic downtown of T or C, as the locals call it, there is plenty to see in terms of art and local culture, with interesting parks, historical displays, sculptures, and lots of cool period buildings that look like you've stepped right back in time. And, of course, as already mentioned, there are many bathhouses that can be rented by the hour to soak in the warm hot springs waters still today. We'll see you next time somewhere else down the road.